Welcome to the Senior Techie Podcast. What if the most powerful medical device in your home isn't, your blood pressure monitor, but actually that old tablet sitting dusty in a drawer? Today we're looking at some recent research like provider notes and a major 2022 clinical review just to figure out how mental health professionals are, well, completely redesigning technology to reach you.
Yeah, and honestly, since May 12th is National Mental Health Provider Appreciation Day, it's just the perfect time to explore this because, these professionals aren't just offering emotional support, they're actively helping older adults master the very technology that makes that support possible in the first place.
Right, exactly. But before we get into the evidence of how well all this works, we should probably define a couple of terms you'll hear in this research, things like teletherapy and digital platform.
Oh, definitely. The jargon can get a bit overwhelming.
It really can.
Yeah.
So think of teletherapy as an old-fashioned doctor's house call. But instead of the doctor walking through your front door, they visit you right through your telephone or your computer screen.
Yeah, and a digital platform, that's simply the specialized virtual clinic where that visit actually takes place.
Makes sense. But, knowing these virtual clinics exist doesn't mean much if they're buried inside some complex, expensive healthcare system, right? Like, where do we actually go to get one?
Well, the good news is finding a specialist doesn't require, flipping through a phone book and just hoping for the best anymore.
Thank goodness for that.
Right. There are actually platforms out there, places like Total Life and Blue Moon Senior Counseling, that are built specifically for older adults.
Built specifically for older adults.
Yeah.
So what makes a virtual clinic like that senior-friendly compared to just, I don't know, standard software?
It really comes down to removing digital barriers. So instead of requiring you to memorize complex passwords or navigate those tiny menus.
Oh, those are the worst. I can barely read them sometimes.
They are. So these platforms often use high contrast, large text, and they send secure one-click links straight to your phone or your email. You just tap the link and boom, you're immediately in the waiting room.
That sounds so much easier. And what about the cost?
That's the best part. These specific services often accept Medicare, meaning these virtual sessions can cost, little to nothing out of pocket.
Wow. Okay. So financial access is a huge win. But let's say you're staring at that one-click link and feeling, well, pretty intimidated by the idea of turning on a video camera.
Yeah, that's completely understandable.
Because cost is one thing, but feeling like you need an IT degree just to talk to a professional is a very real obstacle for a lot of people.
It is, and providers really recognize that the technology should be invisible. It shouldn't be a source of stress. That's why a lot of them will actively schedule a brief tech check before your actual therapy begins.
Hey, what exactly is a tech check?
So a real person actually calls you just to walk you through your very first video setup. They make sure your camera and microphone work so you aren't, hunting for buttons during your actual session.
Oh, that is brilliant. Just takes the pressure right off.
Exactly. And if video is still uncomfortable after that, they offer a simpler solution. Just use the phone. I mean, standard audio-only sessions are entirely valid.
I have to push back just a little bit here, though. We constantly hear that screen time and digital communication actually increase isolation, especially in younger generations.
Yes, we do hear that a lot.
So why does this 2022 research review show the exact opposite effect for older adults? Like, how does talking to a piece of glass actually cure loneliness?
It's a brilliant distinction to make, honestly. The mechanism is completely different. Younger generations often use screens for passive scrolling, on social media.
Right, which just breeds comparison and isolation.
Precisely. But teletherapy, however, is highly intentional. It's focused human connection. The 2022 review actually found that this direct, uninterrupted attention significantly reduces feelings of isolation, anxiety, and depression.
So for someone experiencing deep loneliness, it's really about having that reliable anchor.
Yes, exactly. The focused engagement of a weekly appointment provides just that, a grounding anchor.
So it's not really about the screen itself at all. It's about having an undivided hour where someone is truly listening to you.
You hit the nail on the head. And what's really fascinating in the clinical data is that those audio-only calls we mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
they sometimes yield even faster clinical breakthroughs because patients often feel, well, a bit less self-conscious without a camera staring at them.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
They can just relax and open up more quickly.
Exactly.
Hmm.
The human connection just translates perfectly right through the wire.
That completely shifts how you look at the technology around you.
Yeah.
I mean, if a simple telephone receiver or a tablet screen can be the key to curing isolation.
It really makes you wonder.
Right. What other everyday tools sitting in your house right now are just waiting to become your bridge to the outside world? It's definitely something to ponder the next time you're checking your devices or reading an update from the senior techie.
Yeah, the potential is probably sitting right there on your kitchen counter.
This podcast was brought to you by The Senior Techie. It's available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. If you'd like to receive their free newsletters, you can subscribe at subscribe.theseniortechie.com.